Wavesound Audiobooks presents an unabridged recording of Pain and Privilege, Inside La Tour, by Sophie Smith, narrated by Alexandra Aldrich. Introduction. At my first Tour de France, the sensory overload was so great that I felt like I was either drunk or hungover at the beginning. 17 days before the beginning of the 2012 edition, I'd packed my bags and moved from Australia to England to work at Cycling Weekly and Cycle Sport magazines. When I landed in the UK, I knew maybe 3 or 4 people: the deputy editor, Simon Richardson, who offered me the job, and some colleagues who I'd met on the circuit in the Middle East before. It was the summer, and I finally had the opportunity to report from the biggest annual sporting contest in the world, the Tour, and major cycling races across the UK, Europe, Asia, and America. I'd barely unpacked my suitcase before I had to repack it and leave for the continent, the tour already underway. I arrived on either the first or second rest day. I can't remember which. It had been raining incessantly in England, but there wasn't a cloud in the sky in France, and walking across the tarmac, I'd closed my eyes momentarily to soak in the sun. Later, at a Team Sky press conference, the British squad, which would go on to win the first of many yellow jerseys, the same sun started to feel too intense. The media op with international press was hosted outside the squad's hotel, and the only shade around was that shielding the riders perched behind a long rectangular table. After the formal proceedings, everyone dispersed back into the hotel to do more informal interviews. Inside, I found Australian cyclist Michael Rogers, who was riding for Sky at the time. I sat next to him and fired away some questions about the race. I was meant to then move on and find someone else to talk to, but instead I just sat there. I don't know if it was the effect of the sun or hearing another Australian accent or both, but I couldn't move. Sacrificing the comforts of home to move to Europe and try to make something of yourself is an experience every Australian rider has had. And being so far away, sometimes you do feel isolated. It's not like after a bad couple of days you can pop back to see family or friends. It takes a weekend just to get home. Rogers seemed to identify what was going on before I did. He started to tell me about his experiences when he moved to Italy as a rookie racer, not speaking a word of Italian and also knowing few people. It was rough. At least in the UK I could understand everyone, and they could understand me, for the most part. It would get better, Rogers told me, and he was right. When my UK visa expired in 2014, I initially didn't want to go back to Australia. There are riders who stay abroad.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?